Happy lunch hour, guys. So, still Tuesday, still here, seeing how much trouble I can get into. All right. So, I wanted to start here. A lot of you guys had sent me emails about the other channels that I mentioned last night that were supportive of the fact that I was fighting that strike and everything. Asked me to read some of the comments, and I had. And I mean, that was fine. I totally get there's people that don't like me. That's totally fine. All right. There's plenty of people on YouTube. There's plenty of people in real life. There's plenty of people on the internet that I don't like as well. Okay. You know, if people don't like me, so be it. I'm not out here to win some sort of popularity contest. I'm here to share information. The ones that don't like me probably are big Bitcoin fanatics or whatever. Great. That nobody says that I've got all the answers. I've never said I have all the answers. I have a lot of them. I know how to do a lot of things, but I still learn like all of you do. It's the whole reason why we get together, to learn what each other knows and to make ourselves all better preppers, to make ourselves all better human beings, whatever would be. The one thing that I saw in one comment was somebody questioning my love for this country. Somebody actually said that I was a Marxist or something like that. I'm like, are you serious? It was just kind of humorous. Okay. But, it's like, all right, there are people out there that are completely brain dead. And, hey, I see the downvotes on the videos. That's fine. Don't like me. Don't care. But not loving this country, there couldn't be something further from the truth. Now, the reason that comes into play today is a lot of us have talked about what's going on with the World Health Organization and Biden signing this treaty to give the WHO control over all of our medical decisions in regards to pandemics or whatever would be going forward. And y'all know I absolutely am against giving up our sovereignty, hence the whole reason of the petition that I started the other day to declare the WEF a terrorist organization. Now, where this gets very interesting is, sure, we're not the only ones. There's 2,500 people thereabouts that signed the petition so far. That's a drop in the bucket for how many people there are in the United States. But apparently there are some people in Congress as well who agree with me. The House Freedom Caucus. All right. And first thing I want you to do is I want you to look on this list, and I'll show it to you here real quick, and see if your congressperson is on the list. There's some names on there that you're going to know. Jim Jordan, I have a lot of respect for him. Then there's some that I don't particularly care for. You get a Matt Gaetz or a Paul Gosar or something, they're on there. Then there's other ones that, people have mixed feelings about, Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene or something like that. But look on this list. And I noticed on this list, my congressman is not a member of the House Freedom Caucus. Okay. Hence the reason I'm not a big fan of Mr. Fleischman. But they sent a letter today, and I will show you that right here real quick. And this is a letter that they sent to President Biden about this treaty, if you will, that he's going to sign to give up all our rights. All right. Now, in the last paragraph, something that basically the same I said, we demand you provide the American people with total transparency and respect for our nation's sovereignty. Yes, that's very important. Okay. This is a fight for our lives, for our freedoms, for our ability to make our own decisions and not leave it to some bureaucrat somewhere else. Now, one of the things they mention in here too is Biden's complete lack of looking out for the American people, 100%. All right. Biden didn't even nominate or recommend somebody to be the Director General of the World Health Organization. So hence, the current Director General, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, is basically going to be ushered in, no problem, for another 5-year term. He's running unopposed, okay? Biden could have easily nominated somebody else, and there can at least have been an election for who was going to be the person to make these decisions that Joe was ready to sign the paper for. All right. So here's the problem. Tedros, first off, as the Director General of the World Health Organization, I want you to listen to that for a second. Director General of the World Health Organization. So he is the number one person in charge of the organization that this administration and 193 other countries want to give all their medical decisions to if there is another pandemic. We don't know where monkeypox is going. All right. Here's my first issue. Tedros isn't even a medical doctor. He is a bureaucrat. So, the guy couldn't write you a prescription for antibiotics, okay? Yet he's going to make the decisions for the world on what they're going to do. Now, I also want to give you this. He is a member of the Ethiopian political party. This is where the guy's from, all right? The Tigrayan People's Liberation Front, the TPLF. Okay, this is his, Democrat, Republican, conservative, Green Party, whatever you want to call yourself in the U.S. This is it. The TPLF is the political party he is a member of in Ethiopia. You want to know something about the TPLF? The U.S. government has listed the TPLF as a global terrorist organization. So I want you to think about this for a second. Biden is ready to sign off on a piece of paper to give the decisions to make every pandemic-related decision to somebody who is a terrorist. Okay? Now, granted, bin Laden's dead, but, could have always made him the Secretary General of the UN, right? That would have been a great idea, too. That's the idiocy of this. A guy who's not a doctor and who belongs to a terrorist organization is going to make the medical decisions if Biden's deal goes through. That's why the Freedom Caucus is saying no. All right. So now, let's go even a little further and onto the reason what I was talking about, the World Economic Forum. Okay? I want you to watch this clip real quick.
This war is really a turning point of history, and it will reshape our political and our economic landscape in the coming years. But we also are at the tail end of the most serious health catastrophe of the last 100 years, COVID-19, and we have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly, or other risks which we have on the global agenda. We also have to address urgently the issue of climate change and all the other issues related to the preservation of nature. And finally, we look at the future of the global economy with great concerns. Too high inflation, too low growth, too many deaths. But what is particularly worrisome are the consequences, such as falling back of hundreds of millions of people again into poverty and possibly tens of millions of people dying of hunger. We have to be really concerned about those issues, and that's what we want to do here during this meeting. So how can Davos contribute to improving the state of the world? First, we know that all those challenges cannot be met by governments alone, by business alone, or by civil society alone. We need collaborative efforts. And the World Economic Forum here, Davos here, you here, I think it's the most impressive community for global cooperation. Second way of contributing to make this a better world is to look at all those issues in a holistic way. Political, economic, social, and ecological dimensions of every issue today are intertwined. So here we are, and you may ask, why do we have 400 sessions? It is to deal with all the aspects of our global system. And finally, when I looked at the short video, I was thinking, should we have an atmosphere of optimism or pessimism? I think we should be joyful and grateful that we can meet again here in person. It's so important because confidence can only be built by personal contact. But let's also be clear. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room. We have the means to improve the states of the world.
There you go. You know, a little bit of louder voice, a couple of fist pumps or whatever, and we can see the second coming of Adolf Hitler here in Klaus Schwab. This is his opening address to the folks in Davos. You know, all the elites, all the rich, flying their private jets into a ski resort, you know, in the Swiss Alps. Okay. You know, just an idea. You know, that's how concerned they are for the climate and everything. You know, we'll go fly all our planes in real quick and then talk about how we need to do carbon captures and save the planet. But Klaus there saying that the future will be built by us. No, Klaus, the future will be built by us, okay? The people of this world. Mind you this, how the two tie together. A lot of the members of the World Health Organization are also members of the World Economic Forum. Okay. So this is the plans they have for you and me. And this is the plans that they have in the White House to give up our autonomy, our sovereignty, our freedoms, and our rights. Just thought you might like to know what's going on with the decisions that are being made about your life. The fight is on, but he who laughs last will laugh loudest. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give a rat's ass what anybody says. They want to disagree with you. They want to tell you you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. This is the future they want. They want a decision made by some bureaucrat from Ethiopia. They want their decisions made by some Hitler wannabe. Personally, I don't. The one who's going to make my decisions for me is me. One day I'm going to have to answer for every decision I make to the man upstairs. And I'm going to stand in front of St. Peter. And St. Peter's going to look at me and tell me either take the door to the right or take the door to the left based on what I did in my life and what you did in your life and what they did in their life. You figure out which door you want to go through. Figure out, do you want to listen to these guys? Or am I too arrogant? I don't have all the answers. I got some of them. But I'll tell you this, I sure as hell ain't selling any of us down the river. Have a good afternoon. Pinball out.